So today I'm going to tell you how I made £1.2 million last year. So welcome back to Josh Uncut. Today we're going to cut to how we made £1.2 million in revenue last year, and I'm going to share my secrets and tips and tricks with you to help you grow your business. So 10 years ago I started the business just cutting grass out of the back of my Vauxhall Corsa. Today we've got an amazing team of over 20 staff, fantastic team, and we've really built the business around the team. 10 years ago I wasn't an expert, I was just 17, fresh out of school, and I've sort of slowly developed my skills and business management skills to grow a business to where we are. And I still don't consider myself an expert, but I've got a fantastic team around me who are experts. So we'll start at the very start of our journey in my eyes. So I can't wait to share with you some tips and tricks. So when I was 17, the one thing that I did have was a vision and clarity of where I wanted the business to get to. I knew exactly what I was wanting to build in, so starting with the end in mind is a very important factor if you want to grow your business successfully. Otherwise you'll just waffle through life without knowing where you're actually going. Now it might sound a bit cheesy to say follow your dreams, but that's what you got to do. You know, I always visualized where I wanted the business to get to, and it's where we are today. And in 10 years time got an even more clearer vision of what I want for the company and where I want us to be. And without having that clear vision, it's almost impossible to grow your business to how you want it to be. Then just off the back of that, the next thing is how my vision changed over the 10 years. When I first started, I wanted a UK-wide company with thousands of vans up and down the roads. That sort of slowly evolved and changed over the years, and then I got a bit small-minded thinking as the business got a bit tougher, but then I kind of got out of that hole, and I've sort of got a much more clear vision of what I want the business to look like compared to when it started. So the vision will change along the road, but the most important thing is you still have that vision of where you want it to be. As you go on that journey, it's important to see the changes in your vision are just part of the journey, so you can fine-tune what you want. You're not going to get it all right on day one when you first set out. A good saying I love is failure is not fatal, it's just part of success. So as the business ebbs and flows and you make mistakes and stuff goes wrong, it's just important to realise that as part of the journey. The next most important factor that helped us achieve that massive goal last year was if you don't innovate, you evaporate. So when I started the business, I was just cutting grass, that was it. Cutting grass, cutting hedges. And we've slowly evolved the business into new fields, new sectors. Christmas trees is now a massive part of the business. Tree surgeries, we've got a climber working in the company. We're now selling a lot of products, all these sheds that you see, that was all part of the innovation process. If I was still cutting grass, the business would be pretty small. If you were still selling fax machines today, you probably wouldn't have a business. Look at Blockbusters. Blockbusters, if you've got a DVD rental store, you've evaporated, haven't you? As the journey progresses, it's important to constantly change with the marketplace as you evolve. Just cast your mind back to 2020. COVID hit. Businesses had to change overnight and change the way they operated. Working from home was never a thing. Now it's a massive thing. And if businesses didn't change then, they were just going to fail. Look at what Donald Trump's doing in America, and look how the stock market's changed and the tariffs have come in. All these different businesses are having to instantly change what they were doing yesterday to evolve for tomorrow. So if you're just starting out or just started a business, always be open-minded that you're going to have to change along the way and don't get stuck in the past. So as you're growing your business, don't let fear hold you back. Prime example of this, before we moved into this amazing yard, we had a 10 by 10 metre premises, and it was fine. The business was profitable, the business was doing well. It was a wee bit tight on space, but we didn't have to move. Moving to here, our costs went through the roof, the rent was more than double. We had renovation costs to put into the business, we had to spend weeks doing it up, and it was a massive cost, and I thought about it a lot. I was a bit on edge whether or not to do it because of the increase in costs. So that was fear talking to me. I just used the vision in my head of where I wanted to get to and knew this was the correct next step to go to. So as you're growing, don't let the fear of failure stop you in your path. And just remember guys, we have nothing to fear except fear itself. There's always a risk-reward ratio. If you take no risk, you get no reward and you stand still. Take some risk, you might get a reward, you might not. And just don't be scared of falling flat on your face. Just get back up and go again. The bigger the risk you take, the higher the reward, but higher the risk of failure as well. I've never went all in on one thing. I've always been calculated on what I've done to make sure there's a return. But it's your job as an entrepreneur to stack the odds in your favour. If you go to the casino and you count cards, you get called a thief and you get banned from a casino. But in business, you can count the cards and stack the odds in your favour. And that is one of the keys to growing your business. So the big question is, how did I do it? Well, here are the 4 things that I focused on. Number 1, innovation. I was constantly innovating the business and doing what we're doing. Like I was saying before, we just started off cutting grass. There's my first lawnmower. And now we offer like 26 different services, all within gardens. So we're not doing stuff that's out with, I've not set up a window cleaning business. It's all stuff that ties into the ecosystem that we currently operate in. Number 2 is marketing. When business owners start up and they're bootstrapped, they spend all the time in sales and marketing. I know when I started up and I was working at Wormhouse, I would go and tap all the doors of the neighbours. I would ask for recommendations. I would ask for referrals. I would do all my own Facebook ads. And I would get my name out there. What happens is, as companies grow, people then get busy, invest in the levels and stop doing the sales and marketing, and they start doing the operations of the business. Now, it's much easier to get somebody to come in and operate your business. You can get a ops manager, office manager, PA, relatively straightforward. But to get somebody who's really good at sales and marketing, who's got the same passion as you, is going to be very hard. And anybody who is really good is going to be working at Google, Apple, or megabucks. So you have to be the driving force of your sales and the marketing as a company growing, and get away from doing the repetitive tasks every day and focus on the non-repetitive tasks of growing your business. Number 3 is culture. So important to focus on the culture. We've got 20 staff in the field and each one of them are happy to work with each other. This sort of business, what normally happens is Johnny doesn't want to work with Jake and Jake doesn't want to work with somebody else, and that's all to do with the culture, and that comes from the top down and what you deliver it. So it comes from how you treat your staff day to day, how you pay them, the fun stuff you do outside of work, and also them understanding the vision of the company. If you get that right, winner chicken dinner. And the 4th most important thing is recruitment. Recruitment, now I can't spell, I am a business operator, not a spelling genius. It's not my job to be good at spelling, it's my job to grow a business. If you're good at spelling, then good for you, so sorry. So these are the 4 most important things to focus on. The recruitment, we're always looking for talent. We're never not recruiting if we find a talented person, but that's not somebody coming into us. That's if you see somebody in the street or you see somebody in a restaurant, you're like, oh, that's an amazing bartender. I've got 2 members of staff here that I just seen from different companies, and I was like, they'll be good in my company. Bring them in. It's your job to always be recruiting the best possible people. Don't leave that to somebody else. So doing these 4 things constantly over time, chipping away at them, will give you the hockey stick effect. Again, I'm not an artist. If you're an artist, then feel free to come and draw on my whiteboard, but this is a hockey stick. So slowly, it takes a while to get going, but once you get going, so that's us here, maybe at 1.2 million in sales. Next year, or this year, we want to get to 2.2, so it took 10 years to get to here, and then 1 year to get to here. So it's a long process to get there, but once you get going, the compound effect kicks in and you'll be on that upward trajectory path to success. So that's where we want to be next year at 2.2. Up here, end goal 10 years time is 40 million across different sectors, garden centres, garden businesses, tree surgery, the whole shebang, but we'll do another video about that. Once we get up to there, we will have Hollywood style budgets for production. There'll be explosions. My videographer Will, who's doing the video, will be just super excited. The next Mr. Beast on YouTube. So that's how we made 1.2 million last year. Hopefully these tips have been useful for you. If they have, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you next week.